It's on the back. This is where you're going to hold your wipes. And what we've seen a lot is people pull the whole thing off and throw it away instead of just taking the Velcro off and throwing this out. So this is a huge thing that we've been seeing. Here's the batteries in this container here. There are 6 batteries, 4 hours of battery life on the machine. The cord is retractable into the base of the machine. What we've seen a lot for people that don't ever plug it in because they don't see the cord is to leave it out a little bit and then just hang it like this. So when you get up to the location where you plug it in, it's already out. But totally up to you. But what we've seen is when you don't see it, no one plugs it in.
And then to retract, you have to pull it to the right side to get it to suck back into the machine, which is pretty nice.
Okay. This here is how you're going to raise and lower like this. And then you can move this up and down here too, if you wanted to. And then it also will go into this orientation here. So if you have a tight space, this orientation might be helpful. If not, most of the time people are using this here. The on-off is right here on the side. So when you tap on that, you're going to have 3 options. You can either shut down, standby, or cancel. So the nice thing is if you put into a standby mode, it will conserve the battery. So if you, at minimal, don't want to plug it in, throw it into the hall, at least put it into a standby mode, and then you're not going to use the battery itself. So you'll know what's in standby because you see this moon up here, and just tap on the screen, or you can hit that again, and then the system's up and ready to go. Okay? So we'll start off here on the bottom. So I have the system defaulted. When you end an exam, here's end. Is going to be in the scan screen. We can talk about this, and if you wanted to change to go into the new patient page, we have that option also. But if we do end and it's in this scan screen mode here, I highly suggest when you walk up to the machine, the first thing you do is hit end exam, just to make sure the person before you has ended it. I do also have the machine set that after 30 minutes of non-use, and there is a study that's active, that will go over automatically, so you don't have to then push if you want to do that.
Be shortened?
No, that's minimal.
30 is the minimum.
30
it
is
could
the
be
minimum.
lengthened.
Yes, correct.
30. Okay.
30 is minimal. Yep. So to get started, here is your patient key here. So once you tap on that, you can use your barcode scanner. This is going to work in the very same fashion that you have on your Zenari systems, where you scan it. The information is going to go into the patient ID. Operator, so you just scoot this up here. Operator is where I believe the resident's going to go.
Put a barcode to scan.
All right.
Let's see if it works.
And then diagnostician is where the attending is going to go. In our next release in the end of October, you will be able to have other things that will be able to be
like attending instead of diagnostician.
Attending, yeah, right. So right now it just says
We
that.
can't currently change the nomenclature out of diagnostician.
Correct.
Okay.
So give us about 2 months and I'll come back in, do the upgrade, and we'll change that, and it will be attending at that point in time. So you're gonna have to map it currently. So the nice thing is you can be any place in the exam, and you can walk in and scan your barcode and also scan the patient information. So that will update the entire study before you end it. So you can do it at any given point in time. So if you do scan the patient, it's going to say, do you want to append? So you're just going to hit yes, because it's going to start off with the patient ID being the date and time stamp. So when it says append, then say okay. So I'm just going to hit done here. If you don't have information, you can always hit cancel and just start scanning. It will assign again a date and time stamp for you.
So you can append to the exam, but you can't merge 2 separate exams.
Well, you're merging, correct, not
Okay.
2 separate. It's going to be one that started.
Just adding on additional images. Okay.
Correct, yeah. We do have the capability to go actually and scan a work list and do an append that way, but you guys aren't using the work list. I see you are, but I guess you're not. But anyways, it looks like it on the machine.
I'd like to.
You have the capability, so that would be something else you can do.
Okay.
So now I'm going to hit probe here. So you have 3 transducers that are plugged in right now. So we have the L12RC, then we have the SP51 phased array transducer, and then your curved array transducer. So just be specific at what you're choosing as far as your exam type. Don't just say you're going to do cardiac and just tap on the top. Maybe you're doing a fast, so you could tap on it that way. So just be more specific, because all of your worksheets are tied to these presets also. So I'm just gonna go back here to probe, and then we're gonna go to the linear transducer. So what has been decided is that there is a procedure, so that is anything that has to do with a needle, and that worksheet will be associated with that. So like your vascular access, let's just say, we're just gonna go into procedure. So we have the linear transducer that has buttons on it, okay? So as far as the buttons go, this here is going to increase depth, quick press, decrease depth. If you hold down on number 1, it will increase the gain. Your gain is over here. Hold down on number 2, your gain will decrease here.
Oh.
So depth and gain there.
And save your image.
I made up you guys a little cheat sheet here that I laminated, and you can hang that right over here too. And I'm also going to set up a workflow sheet so you guys can reference that too. But so we have that here.
And then save the images on there as well?
Yep, so
Capture.
on the third one here on the side, a quick press here is save an image here. If you hold down on it, it's going to save a video clip capture, 6-second clip capture. Okay?
Going forward or back?
Forward.
Okay.
Yep, everything is prospective, but I'll show you how to do a retrospective too. Double click on it, and then your color box will come on. And then double click, your color box goes off. So there's 7 functions on this transducer.
So exciting.
So let's go over to some of the basic functions here. So this is your gain. It is a slide here, like this.
If I see that.
Depth is easiest to tap. Honestly, just get used to tapping, because if you start sliding, you'll notice this will actually go to like 20 cms or whatever. It's just ridiculous, okay? So just tap above and below. This one here, you're going to slide like this. Down on the bottom here, this is your B mode only knob here. And then here is your freeze. So when you freeze here like this, you can grab hold and you can cine back if you wanted to do that. And then, or you can cine by taking your finger, and I can put an image up and you'll see that, but you can put your finger on the screen and cine back and forth that way if you want to do that. If you freeze and take this video clip capture, it's going retrospectively, 6 seconds. So if you saw something, and you're like, oh
cool.
wow, I really wanted that and missed it, just quickly freeze, and then that will go back. When you're not frozen, it is prospective. So you've got the option of both. Live pro, frozen retro. And then this here, this picture here of the camera, that is your still image, okay? So you can just do a still image on the fly. You really don't have to freeze, just hold your hand still and you can just do your, image captures. Over here on the side, this is where when you save your images, they're going over here. Your major modes are down here. So I'm just going to tap on color, let's just say. And now when you're in color, now your gain is your color, okay? So that's your color gain. So I'm just going to take this here, and we'll take a video clip capture just so I can show you here. If you want to stop it, say the 6 is too long, then stop it.
How do you change the 2D gain if you have color mode on? Do you just have to take it off?
That's a great question. I'm going to show you that.
Okay.
Yes. So no, you don't have to take it. I'll just do it right now. Okay, so now we're in color. Up on the top up here, we haven't gone over these tabs yet, but the image tab is going to be your best friend. This is where you're going to do majority of your changing of your imaging parameters. So you have image, measure, annotate, and then application. We'll go over that in a minute. So image here. So B mode is your B mode. So I tap on it. Here's your B mode parameters. I've got a lot of them moved over. Now we can move some things where we don't need to see them, but to start off, I've got a lot of options for you. And then, so if I hit this B, now it will change my B mode image.
Nice.
And so the default is color, whatever mode you're in, that is the default. So that's how you're gonna change that here. So this is your color gain here. To get out of anything, just hit B, like this. So a couple different ways you can look at all of your images. So you can, if you just tap on it, that's going to just give you a reference of what that looks like. It's not going to run it. So let's say that's that clip, right? I took it. So if I want to run it, double tap. Now I'm actively running that. If I wanted to do that, I can freeze it, cine back, and I'll show you how to do measurements and annotations too. So that is one way to review. The other way is down here. So it's kind of like a workflow this way here. So here's review where you can see all of your images. If you wanted to delete one, you can just tap on it. And then let's see here. Delete down here. If you're not in this, I'm just going to come out of done here. If you wanted to delete this one here, when you tap on it, you'll notice on the side the icon where you have your trash bin. So you can delete it like that, okay? All right, so let's just go into this imaging tab here. So under the imaging tab, if you want the middle line on when you're doing a procedure, it's the first option is middle line, just turn that on here. If you find that every single time you guys want the line on, I can set the preset that way. I think we decided off, and then if you want it on. Okay, so that's under your imaging tab. Also, you have your left-right flip, so you can flip your M here. Something else that you may really like is the extended field of view. So that will actually open up the field of view. So if you're doing nerve blocks especially, it's really nice, or you have an abscess, really want to increase the field of view. So that is your third option. Fourth one here is zoom, okay? So when you tap on the zoom here, when you tap on the zoom here, you can just go plus like this, and then go minus. If you slide, it's going to be harder to control, but you can also do this here. But most of the time, what I find people are doing are actually using the zoom because you can control it rather than trying to pinch and show that here. So that is your zoom. Other than that, we have dynamic range, other things, but you can look at it and see, but you're not going to be something you use all the time, okay? All right, so now I'm going to freeze. If I wanted to do a measurement, just a quick measurement, I'm going to tap on this caliper here. Once you tap on it, you have options here, so basic, or you have advanced. So if we're in cardiac, you're going to have more advanced options under your cardiac here. And then here is basic. So actually, let me just go to probe. I'm just going to choose cardiac just so we can start right off with that. All right, so now I'm going to freeze again. Hit my caliper here. Another thing you can do is simply hit measure up here. So up to you, and then you choose, again, here's advanced. You're going to choose which one you want to do, and then these are basic. The default is distance for most of them, okay? So I'm going to put my finger on. This is a magnifying glass up here, so if I put my finger on the hand, I'm going to move it, and you'll see it once we have an image here, and then you can let go, and then you have your fine movements here with the arrows up and around, and then tap on it. So let me turn my gain way up. So
could you zoom in as another option? Like zoom in where you're placing the caliper?
So that's what that little box is. It
True.
automatically zooms in.
But what I'm saying is so that you have like more pixels. If you're trying to like measure something that's that big, I like to blow it up and then you have like more pixels on the screen.
You could, but that's going to do it for you with that box. So,
yeah.
Either
I'm just
way,
thinking about like this slight like.
If it's a little teeny thing,
yeah,
probably
little tiny.
best to zoom a little and then use that box also if you wanted to do that.
Go over that again.
Yep, so I'm just gonna hit B. I'm gonna hit freeze. I wanna do just a distance measurement, let's just say. I'm just gonna hit the caliper here. The default is distance, it automatically turns it on. I'm gonna move my hand and move this here, and then tap, and then move it like this. Again, these are micro movements like this. If I want to get back to this one here, this is not intuitive, update. So update is going to go back and forth between the calipers. You always have the option to delete item or clear all. You can use that way, but if you're just making micro movements and you want to go back and forth, I suggest using update.
How do you start the measurement again? You double click on that on the pointer?
On right here, there's two little calipers.
Yeah.
So that is the symbol to turn your measurements on. Or you could have hit measure up here.
But you moved it from one place, and how did you measure, or how did you do that to start it there?
Yeah, there's a default when you freeze. That's a great question. It's just going to jump up into the middle of the screen, and then you want to grab a hold of it. So it's
how do you
just
grab a
here.
hold of it?
Touch the
Is it-
hand.
Just touch it.
Oh, just touch it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Well,
move
yeah.
here like this.
Okay.
So the easiest way
Yep.
is to put your finger
Yes.
on the hand and move it. You can do this. It's hard to see. So if you do that, you're going to have to use the box. So that's why they move this down. They worked on this, and the
That's
best
smart.
way is to put your finger on the finger here, like that. Now, when I lock
Oh,
that
so
in,
you locking it is
That
the
was
lock.
just a
That was
single
the-
tap of that little crease.
that is
right?
correct.
Okay.
One tap.
That's
And
what
so
it is.
when I tapped again, it locked it in. When it turns white, it's locked in. So if I want to move this one again, I'm going to have to hit clear. So now I have this one here. Tap, and then come up here like this and tap. So now I've locked it in. So you've got your measurements here. Again, you can clear and go back if you wanted to, or you can clear all. When you unfreeze, we have it set that it will clear all also.
That's
Okay.
really nice because I've been like redoing it. So I'm like, oh, it's not right, and then I have to you can suggest.
Yeah, use
awesome.
update. Yep, so just use your update, which is right here for that.
And then to
Um,
save those, because they delete, to save those, you'll just do a still image.
Yeah, so so I'm just gonna freeze here. Let's just do it again one more time and bring it up here like this. And I like this measurement, I'm good. And then here is your saved image and it's gonna pop up down here. Yeah.
And it'll be in the report too. That I'm
I was gonna say, do those populate anywhere?
Those
Maybe
only
just
go
counts.
into the report if it's a calculation, which is
Yeah,
an
yeah.
advanced calculation such as your cardiac.
Okay.
So, or say you do a fetal heart rate and you wanted that to go into a calc.
If it's just a simple distance that doesn't
If it is
record.
distance and it's under basic, it's going nowhere.
Yeah.
It's only in the image. It has to be advanced to go in a report. When it's in a report, then here is your report here. So this will have all of your measurements, any cardiac measurements that you've done. Okay?
And people should be saving images anyways when they take a measurement, so you know that it's like accurate.
So
Correct.
if you do like a common bile duct through the tools where you measure common bile duct, that's not gonna go into the report.
It will.
It does.
It will.
Yep, if it's a
If you
calculation.
use
It's a
it, yeah.
calculation.
So let's
Not just
do
calipers.
this. I'm just gonna go to probe here. I'm just gonna go to right upper quadrant like this. So I'm going to freeze. I wanna do a measurement. I'm gonna tap here, but I don't want that. I want advanced. So here is common bile duct. So I'm just gonna tap here and then common bile duct. When I save that then, that's when it's going into the report. So when I hit report, then I have my common bile duct up here.
I see there's many measurements like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that like
You should be getting 5 measurements of every common
I
bile.
don't
No.
know we did that with theirs.
So, this is the method is average at that point in time. If you wanted to change it to the maximum, you're gonna tap on that, you're gonna go last max or whatever, so you're gonna hit maximum. So, but this report here, I don't know if you're gonna be using that a whole lot, if you're gonna send reports over, I'm not sure, to QPath or not.
I like average. I like
Yeah.
Can you take a picture of that screen?
You can. So,
Okay.
so here is report like this. So now, here is preview. So preview is looking at a
Okay.
PDF document,
Yeah.
which is like a worksheet. So if you wanted to, up in the top up here, this menu here, you can hit screenshot and that will
Oh, that's
take
what
it.
a
Oh,
screenshot is.
okay. That's what
If you
Yeah.
wanted to do that. I'm gonna hit back, and here, I can go like this and hit screenshot if I want it like that. So you have PDF with everything, or you could have just this measurement page if you wanted just that measurement page to go over,
Okay.
okay? All right, so I'm gonna hit done here. So we've gone over image and then we went over measure. Annotate is here. So here's annotate, I don't know why it's coming up. So there's body marker and then comment. So we have kept these pretty basic as far as what the annotations are, and I can add and subtract and do whatever. But when Dr. Haber and I set it up, we thought, or he thought, you know, keep it basic. So when you see these arrows here, it's going to, I didn't want to do that. So here's, I'm gonna bring it up here. So here's right, left, sag, chronal, trans is on most of them, like that, and then long, short. So you can clear your items like that. When you unfreeze, and then freeze, so it did stay on there, let me see here, annotate. So you can tap on that right, left also, and then that's how it's gonna know to go through the right and left on there. If you wanted to type, so there's a keyboard, so again, we've got annotate, so we got a keyboard. Your keyboard's gonna come up, and so then you can type in, you know, whatever you want here. And then we're going to tap that down and get rid of it.
And those are exam
images.
specific too. So if you're doing like DVT, it would have like saphenofemoral junction, you know, CFE bifurcate. They'll be specific for the exam, your labels.
So I'm gonna come up here to the fast, and then we go to annotate here. We have one that says eFast, so when you tap on that, you can go through and then change your annotations that way, like that. So it's gonna go through and just cycle through. I can have the system set when you freeze that the default that comes up is annotate. If you guys, do you annotate everything?
We don't annotate enough, so that sounds like a great idea.
So that will,
If it prompts more
avoid
annotations.
you having to have an extra press of a button. So say you unfroze and froze, and now we wanted to annotate. I would have to come up here to annotate and do this. So I can have the machine set to automatically, so.
So that would be,
cutting out the extra step of having to
as
click.
soon as it was frozen,
Mhm.
then that left panel would turn to image.
That is correct. That is
And then
correct.
when it's unfrozen, it's back to image.
I think it would just stay in
That's
annotate, or
correct.
would it pop in and out?
So,
Cause I think it's useful to have the imaging parameters there.
True, yeah,
I
like
think it
measuring.
encourages people to like use them
Yeah.
to improve the
If
picture.
they were right there, I would totally
But
go
I-
for it.
I like,
wouldn't-
and I love the annotate idea so
Wouldn't.
long as during the actual
And
scanning.
if we do such things,
I'll
correct,
do both.
because
yeah,
we
so
change
when you're
it.
scanning live, just like this here, then you're gonna have your options of any of these. But it's when you freeze, the default will be annotate.
And then
So if you do
unfreeze that
measurements
image.
a lot
Yeah,
and not annotate a lot, then maybe you don't want annotate, so.
but I think measurements happen less frequently.
Okay.
And if you're doing a measurement, you're gonna find it. Like you're gonna go find where it allows you to do that. But if
Yeah.
you were thinking about doing annotation and it's not immediately evident where to do it, you won't do it.
Then I will turn that on.
Yeah,
So
I
I'm
would,
just gonna make a
as
note of
long as
that.
when it's unfrozen, it goes back to the image.
Okay, let me just make a note of that. Alright. Okay, so I'm just going to clear all, any questions so far on, and yes, go ahead.
There was one time when we did graphic exam where we could kind of click on the screen what like section we were in, it saved the image to that section. Does that, well, how do you get back to that, and does that apply to like other types of exams?
Yeah, so let me show you that. So that is our application tab here, that is the fourth tab, okay? So when I type on application, we have respiration here, so that has your lungs, and then down here where you can tap on these don't go to a report for you to take a picture. You can take a screenshot of the page when it's complete, and I'll show that. So this is great, I think, for teaching to make sure you're doing what you need to do, but it's not necessarily a great way every time you do lungs to do it this way. But so you can tap on it here, it labels it like that, and then you can take your picture, and it's actually taking that picture and putting it in here in the box. So it's not just showing you took it, it's actually taking that picture over there. So and then you can, like I said, you can tap on different things. If you tap on lung consolidation, like you've given the diagnosis yourself of lung consolidation, I'm just going to show you that, and it says lung consolidation here. I'm going to save that. When I go to summary at the very bottom here, it automatically will make this red for you, and it tells you it is a positive. So by typing that in or selecting that, that's going to make positive. So now we have the screen, so we have each of our images, right? And then it gives you the score, okay? So then when you come over here, again, you can hit screenshot.
To have it go to QPath. Yeah.
Correct, to have this page go to QPath.
Because if you don't
then
screenshot it, it's like a waste of your time.
It's a waste of your time to use this tool if you're not gonna do the screenshot.
Yeah.
And like I said, unless you're teaching and you want everyone to kind of follow this format. And then here's end, I'm gonna end the application, okay. So that's respiration, so you have shock here. So under shock, you have heart, lung, abdomen, and the lower extremity, venous. So again, nice way to teach so that you know exactly what images that you're going to take here, like that. I'm going back out of shock, then you have trauma. So then you have the trauma if you wanted to use that. So again, if you type on these here, it will say what it is and then kind of annotate for you. So that is kind of nice. So it's nice to use this, and then if you want to take an image, you can do that where you actually have it, labeled, so that's fine.
Did you just put free fluid there?
Pardon me?
You clicked a button that said free fluid?
Yep, so it says right here,
Oh,
the
I
free
see
room
it.
present, so I just put it up there for you. So it's a nice way to annotate if you want to do, a bunch of words at one time.
And if you pull up this patient's exam, like a week from now, you're like, oh, I wanna go look at that FAST exam, you can pull up this map? No.
No.
You can no longer correct that.
That's correct, right.
It'll
So I
be
just want to make
labeled,
sure you guys
but
know,
it is no longer
it's- yeah.
pull up a map and
Correct.
correct it to the correct image.
that is correct, yeah. So that is, again, under application, so, it's, like I said, it's a nice teaching tool, I think. So then your major modes are over here, like this. So if I put color on and I want to change the box size, I'm just gonna grab the corner like this, move it around. Once I'm in color, again, I'm gonna hit this image tab. If I want to change my scale, that's where I'm gonna change. I'm gonna hit the image tab, now I have scale, and you can invert whatever you want to do here in color, okay? So now if I go to PW here, that will put your cursor on. You can bring your finger, move it up here, oops, I already flipped it. So if you want to get into PW, you can put PW like that. I think a nice way to get into it is to double tap. That will take you into pulse wave Doppler, and you can run your Doppler strip. Okay. See this button here, I touch?
Did you
So
just
that-
double tap the?
I just double
this
tap the-
anywhere on the screen?
Nope,
Or did you
right on
double
the
tap
cursor.
The sampling gate?
Yeah, right on the cursor, like on the line, and
Yeah.
tap it. So I'm just gonna turn it off, PW, then hit PW, then if you wanted to, you could move it like this and then just hit PW again. Another way, but then tapping it, I think is nice because you've already put your finger there, so you might as well just double tap. So I wanna go over one button here, it's called iTouch. This can be used in grayscale and also color in Doppler. So what it does, if you're in grayscale, you hit it, it turns on, alright, we'll go over that in a minute. I don't like it in grayscale. I'll just tell you right off, I don't like it, because you turn it on, it stays blue, people keep hitting it, they wanna turn it off, they want control, and they don't know how to do that. You have to press and hold until the blue thing goes away. This, and this iTouch is my favorite pulse wave Doppler. See, I'm aliasing everywhere, scales off, baselines off. If you hit this iTouch, it's going to set your baseline for you,
Oh,
get
nice.
rid of the aliasing, and have a beautiful Doppler.
You're not allowed to hit that.
If you don't,
Okay.
and aliasing, if you don't know what that is, it's essentially when it like wraps around the opposite side and then it like overlaps in each other.
Yeah,
so you have
so
to
this
change.
again, it's a really quick way, since everything is touchscreen, it's a really quick way to just get a beautiful Doppler strip. And if I want to get out of everything, then I'm just gonna again hit B, that will take me out of everything, and now I'm back into my grayscale image here. Let's go back over some of these things here on the side. Image quality, this is right below that iTouch. So image quality, you have frequencies, you have 3 fundamental, 3 harmonic, and some of them will even have more. So like cardiac, I think has 4 or 5 frequencies. So when you start imaging, I'm just gonna hit end. I'm just gonna end this here. I wanna end it. All right, so when I go to probe here, I'm just gonna go to cardiac like this. And you go to your image quality here. So we have adult cardiac. The frame rate is HGen FFR, fast frame rate. Let's say you have a really large patient. So you could tap on this and then you could just go to your H-pen. That's gonna give you your most penetration. Or if you have a really thin patient, you want better image quality, you could maybe go up to H-res if you wanted to do that. So there's one adult cardiac preset. So now after that, you need to take control as far as the frequency and what you want to do, okay? Just wanted to make sure you guys knew that. So that is your image quality. This here is your TGC. So you can use it like this if you wanted to, or you can just say, I just want the far field, or I want the near field. So you can use it however you want. When you start your exam over, it's gonna be in the middle.
And
So
did you just drag a finger in like distribution and it
yeah, so you can do that if you want.
Is there a way to just revert it back to the middle, like when you're in the?
Oh, to default, yeah. That's a good point.
No.
I guess you
Good
could put a
question.
straight line.
Yes, you could, yeah. you
Draw a
could.
straight line and try to.
You just go in the
Yeah,
middle.
straight
It's
though.
gonna be close. The system's pretty forgiving. I mean, I use that sometimes, but most of the time I'm just gonna use my overall gain. So yeah, it's not 100% necessary. All right, so we're in grayscale here. I'm gonna hit this iTouch. See how it did it and it picked the gain for me. How did you pick? I'm not sure. I don't even have an image. So that, right away, I'm like, how? Okay. So like on your Zanari systems, your optimize key, when you press it, so let's say I hit this and I went, oh, I want it brighter. This machine does not remember that. So we've asked for this since the machine came out to say, hey, I did this, now this is what I like. Every time after I hit this, I want you to do that. It doesn't work that way. It picks it. And then you're like, wow, I didn't like it. And then you hit it again, goes back to what you didn't like. So that's why I'm not a fan. So you gotta press and hold also like forever to then get it to turn off. So that's that.
So just turn off the iTouch when you start scanning by holding your finger on there.
It will not be on until you turn it on.
Yeah.
Yep, so.
Don't touch it.
So yeah, you don't really have to.
No touch.
So something else that's really nice is called iScan Helper. So when you tap on iScan Helper, what this is teaching inside the machine itself. So right here, I'm on cardiac, it says iScan Helper, parasternal long axis, I tap on that, okay? So you have your image here, kind of shows you how to hold your hand, gives you your measurements here. Something that I really like about this software that came out is when you do this reference image, it puts it up here, like this, and you can then scan over here and take your image and do a nice comparison. So
That's
you can
good.
use this for nerves, fast, abdomen, cardiac.
What
not
other
sure
views
else.
does it have? Echo views?
Oh, yeah, so let's go
Yeah,
back
like-
here. So here are your views here.
Okay.
Yeah, April 4, I mean, it's got most of them.
Doesn't have like RV and flow out. Like, can you add other views? No. Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
So this is, for right now,
Okay.
that is it. Okay, so to turn it off, just tap on it here, and so see it's still green, that's how you completely turn it off, okay? Okay, so under this toolbox here, this called, it says smart, and there's a wrench, so it's your smart toolbox. These are your AI tools that go along with whatever application that you are in. So if you're in cardiac, the smart tools will go along with your cardiac, okay? So I'm just gonna tap on that. In here we have Auto EF Plus, Smart VTI, Auto DFR, Smart IVC, and then Smart Echo View. A lot of smart tools. What I would suggest you guys do is under this TEX video tutorial here is go in and take a look at the videos here. There's chapters at the bottom, so if you want to go right to smart tools, you can just go right to smart tools and you can learn whatever you want with smart tools. I can load some images in here also so you guys can play around with them. But this is going to be your best friend if you wanted to find anything about that. But I'm going to go over a couple things here. So Smart Echo View. This is a great teaching tool. So when you tap on that and you start scanning, up here on the top a heart will appear and it's going to be blue and gray. When there's gray, it doesn't like your view. You need to make a little bit of adjustment. And then when it's blue, it likes it. You can then save your image if you wanted to do that. You can have autosave. I don't suggest that because it's like save, save, save. It's doing it all the time. But then down here, it will show you the how to turn your hand, what to do to get the next view, and it will show you the next view. This AI tool is actually going to get much better. I've seen some cool things that are coming with that too. So this is kind of like the basic, but it's really nice teaching.
Would it be possible to disable the autosave image and autosave clip?
It's not on.
True,
So if
but
you
like,
want it on,
like to
to
just
turn it-
remove that option. No, okay. Okay.
You know what? No.
No, okay.
Yeah, no. It's not been asked that, but no. There's not a wrench here for me to move things, so no. All right, so you're in it. To get out of it, you're going to hit it again. It also has, I wish I would have loaded some images on here. I don't know how much time. I'm going to load a couple things on here on, then we can kind of go over it.
Yeah.
Then we'll answer questions while it's doing that.